Hello, everyone, and welcome back to End of Life Conversations. This is our weekly dispatch. I'm Sam Lee Zemke here with dearly beloveds, Reverend Mother Ana Luisa Armendariz and Reverend Wakil David Matthews.
Aw, so sweet.
Yay, happy to be back. It's been a
Yeah.
busy summer, a lot going on.
Yeah, I'm glad you're back.
I know, I am
We
too.
missed your voice.
Oh, and we have been sort of struggling to narrow down what we want to talk about this week. There's so much.
Yeah.
There's so
A
much
lot
on our
going on.
hearts and on our minds. And so we thought maybe we'd dive into maybe the shallower end of the pool. Oh my God. Which would be
That's so funny.
climate change related deaths
Oh, yeah.
and loss.
Yeah.
And yeah, so let's see where we can go in the heaviness of this.
Also, this should also be a PSA for people. If you're living in a really hot space, take care of your elders, take care of kids,
Oh,
drink
yeah.
water, try to find some shade. It is a thing when
Yeah.
our temperatures are really high. We are not used to it.
Yeah.
So
A lot of people are
never
suffering.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
So
What was the number, Ana Luisa? You said you read?
yes, there was an article that I read over the weekend. It was like 16,000 additional deaths that happened this summer, I think in Spain or France.
Mm.
And it was attributable to the heat wave that has been plaguing the continent.
Yeah.
And people just are not ready or accustomed to it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And it especially affects people who can't afford air conditioning, and and in India they're seeing temperatures that are unlivable beyond what human beings can live in. And again, there are very, very few people there who can afford to have an air conditioner. And we have a friend who is over here from India, who works in an orphanage there. And he was telling us that in the orphanage itself, they finally have somebody paid for them to have some air conditioning in part of it, but they have to bring all the kids into that part of the place when it gets up to 120 degrees, And even then, it's hard to stay cool enough to keep everybody safe. And then the kids sometimes are trying to go outside, and yeah, it's really
Right.
it's nothing short of horrific,
yeah.
and that we live in our little comfort bubble. That is something really I think is important for us to consider, think about, pray about, help in any way we can. Yeah, so it's important. It's important for us to notice, I think.
Yeah.
And-
It is important to notice, and also I think I'm about to doggy paddle into the deep end.
Uh-oh.
I know. I also noticed that this administration just changed the rules for Texas so that Texas corporations don't have to pay for like the heat breaks for people, have water
Yeah.
and a 10-minute like get out of the heat.
Yeah.
And so they've gone away with that because they said they cannot, that's not good business practice to be taking care of people if it's too hot. And
Jeez.
we have our thoughts. And I want to just point out that whether or not we're in those situations working these jobs, I mean, Amazon workers are struggling. Everybody's struggling. It's hot. It's very, very hot. I appreciated, I was traveling through, this is a completely different reason, but I was at a gas station in California, and the gas guy came outside and gave some firefighters all like some electrolytes. And he's like, hey, thank you for helping us out. Thank you for always being available for us. And I think that maybe that I remember I was being struck by, I was like, of course, the firefighters, right? Because it's like very
Yeah.
evident that they are stepping in the line of literal fire for us.
Yeah.
And, maybe something that we can consider are all the people around us who are working really hard to make our lives easier, for all those continuously still spending money on Amazon to have it done, brought to your doorstep this, the very same day. Think about those folks because they,
Yeah.
leaving some water, a little electrolyte. I have come out with I had a favorite mailman years and years ago, and I brought out wet cloth for him one day because I was like, "It's too hot." So, this
Yeah,
empathy
yeah,
for our community at large who struggles with this
yeah.
climate
So
change.
important. Yeah. Yeah, and others are struggling. I think about the whole, chain of people who are the immigrants who are picking the fruit, who are suffering and who are suffering in so many ways right now, being detained for no reason and all that we've talked about
Mhm,
in the past, I just was talking about before we came on here, the horrors of the detention centers that,
mhm.
now that a white woman got picked up, we heard about from a white person who got bailed out, right? But so many people, including many, many, many children, are
Children.
just being treated
Mhm,
in horrific ways that just doesn't match what we think of when we think of our country, at least what I think of, what I hope
mhm.
for.
And none of those places have climate control, none of
Right.
they're
Right,
big
right. They're
concrete boxes.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And so that becomes another hotbed for those things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And and then, um, re what you were saying, Ana Luisa, about the firefighters reminded me also that it's not just heat, we're also, like, smoke. The
Mm.
smoke from all of
Yeah,
these
Oh my
fires was a
god, yeah.
huge
that's right.
conversation this summer. I
Yeah.
mean, we were at a camp and talking about, how much was it safe for the kids to play outside
Right.
Mhm,
with the amount of
mhm.
smoke in the air. And
Yeah.
we've talked before about, a number of days where, um, you know, kill your kids on the farm,
Yeah.
had to work in
Mhm,
full respirators. And I encountered somebody the other day who was saying, any early death due
Mm.
to health complications
Yeah.
from now on is climate related.
Oh,
wow,
wow. Yeah. I think
wow.
I would have to agree with that, yeah.
Yeah,
So many people now, I mean, there's so many different manifestations of the smoke poison, and,
mhm,
Mhm.
when we were at that camp, I remember sitting outside one of the days that it was relatively less smoky, but still it was smoky, and you couldn't see the mountains a
mhm.
little ways away, they were all covered in smoke, and just thinking about somebody said this the other day about how it would be make sense for us to sit in circle and ritualize all of the creatures and plants
Yeah,
and things that are in that smoke that have burned up
mhm.
because
Mhm.
of climate change, and that we could sit with that smoke and realize what we're actually experiencing.
Inhaling and
What we're
Yeah, we're
mhm.
breathing.
experiencing the ashes of living things that
Yeah,
died for our
yeah,
sins.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
truly. Yeah, so, this is the End of Life Conversations Weekly Dispatch, and, we wanna normalize conversations around death and dying, mostly in, humans. This is our MO. And yet, I do wanna bring forth, like, the trees that are struggling. I walk every day and I see these trees that have had a hard time this summer,
Yeah.
and, the plants that just never were able to kind of pop up because it was just way too dry. Here we're in, a drought, what is it called? Like, standard right now, so we're not supposed to water any of our lawns except, minimal amount, and I am noticing who has very green grasses these days and who doesn't, and I'm like, "Mhm, I see
Uh-huh.
you."
Mm.
And, there is loss of on some level, I understand these people's, reluctance to follow the rules around watering because it is an incredibly, like, visceral reaction to see a dead lawn, a
Right.
dead it's right smack in front of you. There's a bunch of people in my community who just it's just everything's dried up.
Yeah.
And, to talk about it, to see it, to grieve the loss, us old timers, like, "It used to not be this hot," Yeah, it didn't, and it's changing, and,
Yeah.
this is it's a very sad and toxic time for all of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so death and dying, it's happening and, coming to a community near you.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think anybody who hasn't had to deal with smoke is probably a rare person nowadays. Um,
Mhm.
and, I think too that
Yeah, it's true.
yeah, I mean, it's everywhere. And that
Mhm.
just, and like you said, it doesn't, and being an older old timer, I, this was never a thing, it's only in the last, I don't know, 5, 6 years that it's
Yeah.
become the new normal for summer, and especially
Mhm.
where I live on the coast, there's marine air, and there's a lot of good winds usually, and it's rare, but it's still every single summer now for the last 5 or 6
Mhm.
years. There's been smoke levels that were dangerous
Mhm.
here in
Mhm.
the Seattle area,
Mhm.
and then I know, where you are in Colorado and in
Mhm.
Pennsylvania, where my kids are, and where Sam's visiting, there's that, when I talked to them about it, when I called them because I saw the smoke was literally just covering all of the East Coast,
Mhm.
and they told me
Mhm.
they were having to wear respirators to go do the work. I mean, they're farmers, right?
Mhm.
You don't get to take a
Mhm.
day off when you're a farmer. You gotta do
Mhm.
Right.
something, and it can't
Mhm.
be doing any good for the plants and the animals there
Mhm.
either, so,
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm gonna put a plug in for masking up again. Like, I know that
Yeah.
everybody thinks COVID is over. COVID is not over. COVID numbers are going up again.
Yeah.
And, our elders or folks who are struggling with other health impairments, the quality of our air is not helping you.
Yeah.
And a good fitting, mask is probably should be a new norm for us. I mean,
Yeah,
I
sadly,
think
it
that
must, but yeah.
sadly it should be, but I just think about all that for a lot of people who have like emphysema or,
Mhm.
chronic asthma. Like, be careful.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah,
Please
yeah.
be careful.
There was a
If you can
yeah.
possibly,
Yeah.
how many can't?
Yeah.
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 There were, somebody at the camp said, one of the teachers at the camp said, "Your lungs will thank you if you wear a mask." And
Yeah.
some of us were wearing masks, during the worst days, so, yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's important too, and we don't, all of us probably still have masks laying around, so, why
I mean, I've
not,
got tons because, my kids' health requires me to mask up in generally
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
all public places. But, I will also say for those of you who might be listening who find some of these things kind of, it's a monetary barrier to getting a good mask, check out mask blocks in your community. There's a lot of mutual aid
Mhm.
masking communities now that are popping up, and they find people to donate money to buy really good masks, and they will help you fit into one that fits really well and is safe for you.
Mhm.
And, just be careful. Like,
Yeah.
we don't want you to die. If there's 16,000 over the course of this summer,
In one
in our
country.
in one
In one
country, and,
country.
our country is tending towards not, like, noticing things, but, we want you to stay with us until
Yeah.
it's your time. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
appropriate time.
Yeah, and the mutual aid thing you think that you mentioned, I think is where we're gonna have to go. Like you said, we're not getting any
Yeah.
help from our current government, and
Yeah.
so we can help each other, and so
That's right.
that's the mission that I've been on, we've been on,
Mhm.
and that I think everybody can, just another PSA, find a way
Yeah.
to help your community, find a way
Yeah.
maybe to gather masks or to,
Or water if
feed
it's really
people or
hot,
yeah,
or,
yeah, yeah,
put up a little sunshade for folks if they're walking down and there's, like
yeah,
if you live somewhere where it's not shady,
yeah,
just think about our community at large, right? Like,
mhm.
put out water for birds.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
all the parts of our community. Yeah,
mhm.
give trees give the trees some water. Yeah.
I know. I have been doing that actually.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's overwhelming, and it can be hard to even imagine how we're gonna get through this, but
mhm.
that's, I think, the key. I think that's one of the ways. The el clave.
La clave, sí. Yeah, little baby steps for all of us to be doing little bits of parts and
Yeah,
pieces.
yeah. So
You
think
don't have
about
to do it all.
yeah. So, anything else, Sam?
Oh, boy. Mm,
And you don't have to, no pressure, babe.
yeah, I mean, give the trees water, but where's the water? We're in
Yeah,
drought, or
yeah.
how
Yeah,
do you get it? And without maybe going down the rabbit hole of where's all of our water going?
yeah,
Mhm.
And how do we meet that moment? And I think mutual aid's a good way for that
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Also, if you wanna get really hippy dippy, I mean, years and years ago, I used to take showers with the kids, and I'd have, like, a 5-gallon bucket, and
Mhm.
whatever
Mm.
water just splashed in there, you could take it out to the garden, right? So right now we have rain
Mm.
barrels, and occasionally when I'm very like stressed about that's not an everyday thing with me, but when I have bandwidth and I'm a little more upset by watching my kin, some flowers
Mhm.
or trees struggling, rice gets rinsed and that rice water goes into a bucket,
Mm, yeah.
any kind of extreme,
Yes.
like I have friends who come over, they don't drink all their water, it goes into the bucket and that just gets used to water my plants inside or the plants outside. And it's not that big a deal. And it's just a small piece, like
Yeah.
not, in gratitude towards their lives next to mine, I offer them my a part too.
Yeah, that's a
Mhm.
beautiful awareness
Mm.
to, yeah, never throw away water, right?
Yeah,
Well, and when
very
I
Yeah.
do, I'm like, I'm gonna give it
Oh,
back to the
yeah.
earth as far as I can, you know?
Right. And
Yeah.
the gratitude part's so important too, I think, saying thank
Mhm.
you to all of these plants that are suffering
Mhm. Mhm.
and to our beloveds and to our friends and to the water. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, our planet is, becoming darker, I've been reading, because of the, lack of uh, clouds, the changing of the clouds in the atmosphere, which is causing things to heat up even more. There's so much about this planet that we just don't understand, and it's
Mhm.
way beyond our ever understanding, and it will do what it has to do. Um,
Mhm.
but we live in this Goldilocks zone, they call it, right? Where
Mhm.
we're supposed to be just right, and
Mhm. For us
and
to stay alive.
and yeah,
Mm.
and we
Which is a
and
delicate balance.
the planet, yeah, it's a very, very delicate balance, and we're
Mhm.
skewing that balance by the way we live.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
each of us has a job to do.
Mhm.
Reach out to us if you have thoughts or ideas. And
Yeah.
I would like to just bring it back around anytime you come up. Also be gentle with yourself
yeah,
and
Mhm.
your decisions about how you meet these moments,
Mhm.
because it's not necessarily like it's not our choice. We don't necessarily have a choice
mm,
for
Mhm.
how to like survive and meet these
Mhm.
moments. And we can do things like save and reuse gray water,
Yeah.
dishwater, noodle water,
Mhm.
whatever it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
Yeah.
Um, and also that is such a small individual piece that, yes, can gather momentum on a group
Mhm.
scale, but it's so small in the grand scheme of
Right.
systemic disrespect,
yeah,
Right.
exploitation, and, like, really wanton damage,
yeah,
which is
Mhm.
yeah,
where the majority of this is going. And so
Mhm.
I think, especially as things get more severe
Mhm.
and we see these things, it can be really, really easy to internalize because
yeah,
we've been fed
Yeah.
this narrative that the climate issue, recycling, it's all
yeah,
our
Mhm.
responsibility as individuals for not recycling enough, not doing enough, not
Mhm.
driving electric, not blah, 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 blah. But we're forced into these systems
yeah,
of
Mhm.
yeah,
exploitation, degradation in many, many
Yeah.
ways. I mean, you can
yeah,
look at
Yeah.
how like
yeah,
AI AI systems, large language model systems that rely on the data centers that are causing a lot of these like accelerations are being forced into every digital system that we rely on
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
in our everyday lives. And so like
mm,
being being gentle, being cognizant of where we do have choices and where we don't.
yeah,
And and yeah, don't beat yourself up too
Yeah.
much. Be
right.
aware,
Do your
make the
Yeah.
best.
efforts,
Yeah.
Yeah,
work on
Talk
it
to a
because we do
beloved.
have to work on it together.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
But
and that, yeah,
mutual aid, collective efforts is where that's gonna happen, not like you can't consume your way out. You can't like do it all on your own,
right,
That's right.
is what I
exactly.
wanna say.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. That's really important, and it's
Mhm.
important to recognize that the powers that have the choice to make a difference and could actually make a huge difference aren't interested in doing so.
Mhm.
And part
Mhm.
of our work is to make them more interested in doing so in any way we
Mhm.
can. So that's our, maybe our political
Mhm.
work too. So
Yeah. It's a
it's
lot.
hard. And yeah, thank you, Sam. It's really important to take care of
Mhm.
ourselves and be
Mhm.
gentle and forgiving and of ourselves
Mhm.
and others. And so, yeah, thank you. So yeah, subscribe, like, come back and tell all your friends and
Reach
get
out.
on our Substack. We've got this
Mhm.
chat thing with underused. We need you to join us on the chat. So we would love to have that happen. So much love to everybody.
See you
Adios.
Adios.
next week. Adios.
Grief and loss, conversations about the end of life.